streaming. And we be live. Hello fellas, it is I, and also the customary minute where I tell people that I'm alive. I can speak English, this is a grand start. And as usual, I am slow at navigating YouTube. Twitter. Again, as usual, if there is background noise or anything, cannot help that. You are warned now. There probably will not be a repeat of my last stream where my mother screamed, but...
You wanna see something cool? You become demo man.
And if you do not know that my mother screamed, there was a roach. It is fine. No one is dead.
But you have to have the tight turner, so I don't know if you have that.
Alrighty. Hi, Soul! Also, hi, Sky. And Yuki. I got fellas. Maybe fellas here today. We shall wait until the timer on the live says 2, and then we will get in canon. We will doeth the canon. I am totally a proper entertainer, guys. 100%. There do be support. I feel very supported. Bestest one. Thank you, Soul. Fellas, what's y'all's favorite soda?
Oh, that's a hacker. On the enemy team.
Alright, it has reached 2, which means it is time, fellas. Time for the accent. Time for the Sheriff of Swanson. Pepsi and Coke mostly. That's great. Okay. Well, it's great to be having my floor back, honestly. Just shove these beds into some kind of corner.
You fucking shit ass bot.
And now it's time to tend to my farm before- okay.
What? What'd you say? What?
Fellas, please, I'm streaming!
We're not stopping you.
You're screaming?!
Background noise.
Oh yes, great background noise when I'm being lore and serious.
Get more serious.
Yeah, get more serious while there's yelling in my background. I love you.
Oh yeah, that makes you seem serious.
Bruh. Okay, back in character, I guess. This is starting great. Hey Slayer, welcome to a
Oh,
stream.
there's another one.
Hi Asia. Wonderful to see y'all. Okay, now let me try to get back into character. Lord, this is kind of difficult for me because I have to go from normal to just serious country Texan sheriff. The crops are doing good. That's, well, beneficial. Soon the rabbits will be ready to harvest. That's odd to say, actually. Ah, potatoes. We do love some potatoes around here.
As for you enjoying this. Dang, you have a level 100 pocket, buddy.
Knock knock, is anybody home?
Level 100 pocket.
Even though I'm not technically at the door.
It's level 100.
Well,
Which makes it slightly
I'd say this is a
rare.
surprise, but I needed to talk to you anyway, so.
How you doing, Sheriff Swanson?
Normal.
Normal. I wish I could be saying the same, but there's a lot of things that are going on right now that I guess you can say are not normal.
Yeah, the level
Well, that meeting showed as much, I suppose.
Great minds think alike.
Level
Anyways, you said you wanted to talk to me, and I'm pretty sure, well, I came all this way to talk to you as well, so I think we might have a sort of agreement on what we're talking about.
I wanted to inquire more about this warden position you wanted me to be in.
Oh, yeah. When I said I was a little hectic and busy, yeah, let's just say it ties to something like that. And that's exactly why I'm here. So, well, I mean, I don't feel like burning in the sun because I know
Yeah.
Texas has a lot of heat and I'm wearing a, well, long trench coat, so. Well, at least it's cool in here. That's fine. So, yeah, the Tartarus Abyss prison has officially began its construction, and surprisingly, a stack of emerald blocks can get you so much within, well, a couple of days.
Well, that's good to know.
I went ahead and paid my villagers, and they programmed at least, I'd say maybe 100 iron golems to build the walls for the entrance. And oh my goodness, they are as big as the sun. Very giant, very big. So I think production's gonna go very, very well. But I went ahead. I wanted to come over here and basically tell you a little more about the plans and where you fit in at all of this, because you seem to be very intrigued and very interested.
That I do be.
That's good. That's good. We need an authoritative figure around here, anyways, because it can't always just be me and my sister. So, I went ahead and brought a little bit of a plan to show you how immense this prison's gonna be.
Mr. Chicken
Take a look at
said
that.
on the enemy team was hacking for a little bit, but I don't see him doing anything.
This is some serious stuff.
Every single cylinder you see there, that is a level for specifically different types of prisoners for different types of crimes. Obviously, the top is meant for low levels, while the very, very bottom is for the worst of the worst. And I have a little bit of a sense that this prison needs to get made as soon as possible because, well, we got a few stragglers that are kinda maybe gonna cause problems for us.
I'd certainly call that good judgment. They do seem to be ready to stir up trouble.
The moment they hear the word taxes, they all just lose their mind. But, you know, I tried to play the peaceful card, but it doesn't seem like anybody's gonna get there, so. And it seems as if certain people want to get quote unquote revenge just because we want to fix this world, because of how broken it used to be. So,
Yeah.
at this point, there's no point in even arguing with someone like that. So, you might as well put them in a place where they'll maybe rehabilitate their life decisions.
That's a fair take. To get revenge,
The
you need
Tartarus
to have
Abyss
something
prison.
against it in the first place.
Very, very much true. I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to defy what we build. Because, of course, when people hear government, they think of immediate corruption. Which, for the most part, I guess I can slide along with that, but nah. I don't think I'm a person that's worthy of that kind of thing, but sometimes you gotta break a few bones to get to the goodest outcome. It's like trading one life for many.
It's the ideal thing to do. Why lose majority when you can only sacrifice a few sheep?
Exactly. Like I said, great minds think alike. The Tartarus Abyss prison has 9 levels to it. A couple of levels that are additional for the warden and also the prisoners. Because, well, not all prisoners are bad, I'd say. So, you know, the ones that have low level crimes maybe could rehabilitate themselves. So I'm a little man of my offering. So, but as for the other ones, they won't see the light of day. So as with per usual, let me go ahead and tell you the levels of what all is going to be in there. The first level is known as Limbo. This is very, very like low level crimes. This is like, I don't know, petty theft or people who just, you know, defy us, disturbing the peace essentially. And then there's the second level, which is Lust, which is for lustful crimes. And then there's the third level, which is Gluttony. If I'm going to be completely honest, I haven't really thought this one out, but I have time to think about it. And then there's the fourth level, which is Greed, which involve well, crimes based around Pandora's law, or basically money.
The only thing stays during kind of
Then there's the 5th level, which is anger, the 6th level, which is heresy, 7th level, violence, which is where killers and, well, known people who are violent would go. Then the 8th level is for fraud, and the 9th level is for treachery. If you hadn't noticed, I've taken grand inspiration from Dante's Inferno. Quite a funny novel indeed.
It's quite fitting, I'd say.
Exactly. And considering the fact that, well, the Greek gods are here, that means Hades is also here as well. So maybe he can give me some insight on how he punishes his prisoners in the real Tartarus. But I'd like to think that they're a little overkill. But sometimes there will be people that will never learn their lesson. I'm sure you can, well, get a sense for that considering the fact that you were a sheriff.
You'd be right.
Sheriffs and politicians share a lot of things alike.
Oh wait, yeah.
Well, for one, we're the main cause of conspiracy theories of corruption, so I'm sure we can agree on that one.
That is very true. Unjustly so, but true.
That's exactly what's happening here as well. People are defying our rule. They're defying our power. And I don't particularly take an enjoyment to that.
Didn't they elect your sister?
Yes, fairly and non-biased.
And the first meeting, they get everything in a twist.
That's exactly why my sister abolished the right to impeach. Because, well, you can't just impeach a president that's already been put into office. And after all, after everything I've been seeing, I think she's doing a pretty damn good job. There's just a couple people that won't get it, won't ever get it.
Seems like they're throwing a hissy fit over nothing. They don't even give the
Exactly.
first meeting a chance and they want her off.
Exactly. People are so fixated on revenge and hearing the word taxes, and they're all so hell-bent. This is why I have a fear that something may be coming. This is why we need this prison. This is why we need... Well, I can't necessarily tell you that information yet, but one day I will. This is why we need a lot of things. I mean, hell, I proposed the idea of a casino resort because, well, it's sort of a distraction from everything that's also going on. I mean, well, I guess you could say that's a little out of mind, but again, I'd rather have people not focus on what we're doing.
Very smart.
And if anybody so far defies you, me, my sister, or anybody else who's part of the New World Order, things can get very nasty. And I don't particularly want to do that as of right now.
I can understand that.
I mean, after all, this world is completely empty. It's not what we used to know, obviously, before the Great Awakening, as everybody's calling it. And we're already simulating maybe the insight to a possible war amongst people. Which, funny enough, my sister told me something like that, and I had no idea. She's very, very right when you think about it.
Humanity tends to do that kind of thing. Truly. Thought maybe this would be a new start to that, but humanity keeps being the same.
Exactly. You know, let me tell you a little bit of a story. Well, I'm sure you weren't around for this, but there's a giant mansion over in Europe, specifically near the Moscow area region. That mansion is being converted into a research center as of right now. But it wasn't always like that. Before we took it over, there was this collective cult-like group known as the Illagers. And, well, they were responsible for killing innocent villagers. And we never understood why. At first, we didn't know why villagers were being killed or why their villages were being ransacked, and none of us did that. But it all tied back to them. That Grimes fellow that you saw over in the meeting, let's just say he never used to be like the way he is now. He's a liar.
He told me something quite like that, and I got the sense about that.
The things I'm about to tell you would probably infuriate you, but you have to know this kind of stuff, especially if you're going to adapt to this world. You should definitely know what these kinds of people are like. And trust me, I wouldn't be telling you this if I didn't trust you. But anyways,
Bro,
that mansion,
sucks.
well, they caught on to us. They caught on to us spying on them, and so they readied their forces, and so did we, and we took the mansion over. We found many great things, many questionable things as well. But in the long run, that mansion,
Bro, I need to
we saw
better
things that
run
we
for money.
cannot entirely unsee. The Illagers themselves used knowledge that they got from the gods in order to perform wicked experiments. Really horrible things, and that's why you see all the monsters that you do.
They're the cause of the nighttime creatures.
Exactly.
Guy gets a random
They
grant
are.
from a guy that belongs
And because of that fact, well, every single one of them are dead now. They're very hostile. Or they were hostile, as I should say. So we took the mansion. We decided to convert it into a research center. But then something peculiar started to happen after that. Everybody's precious items started to go missing, including one of my own, which is my axe of air. An axe that I worked a lot for, and one day it just ended up missing. And it'd been missing for almost a week at that point, from what I remember. And I wasn't the only one who was experiencing these things. Everybody was losing their valuables. So, of course, instinctively, everybody jumped to the conclusion that there's a thief among us. Which I had no idea. I had no idea that this was happening. I never received a memo, a letter, or anything. And to come to my surprise, I was late night looking for my axe once more. The many single attempts. And then I get Grimes and that Sky fellow in Orly. They come up to my door, they incarcerate me, and throw me in one of those wicked ass cells. The same exact cells in the mansion that were used to house villagers for wicked experiments. There was blood, dried blood on the ground.
They
And I
didn't
was
even clean the
starved.
damn place.
Of course they didn't. They were so mad. Everybody was mad. So was Grimes. And here to think I stuck up for that man. He confessed that he was a contract killer before, and I stuck up for him. And here he does this to me, based on belief. Dried blood on the floors, starving for 3 days straight, only a little bit of water from Sky. Guess I should be thankful for that, but again, the fact that he isn't really apologetic about it. He thinks he can just come up to me and say sorry and things will be completely wrapped. He did nothing.
He
But even
watched
then-
as a fellow man suffered in a cell.
Exactly. And I had no idea what was going on. No idea. I mean, hell, they even had time to make a little jumpsuit for me, but they didn't have time to go get me food. So, of course, hungry, alone, scared for 3 days straight in a cell that was used for villager corpses. And then they bring me over to the capital, and this trial was just the absolute mess. And coming from someone who also used to be a lawyer, I can say for certainty that that trial ended in utter disaster. And I've come to find out that my own son, the one I spent the entire time looking for in this world, because I didn't know if he was dead or not, and I found, and I hugged him. He wanted to put me to my own death.
They wanted to kill you?
My own son. It's honestly hard to believe, but I couldn't even believe it myself. And Grimes, that utter bastard, had the audacity to say that he didn't have a conscience because he was a contract killer. He felt no remorse for what he did to me, and it was then that I realized that I had been used. Nobody really cared about me. They wanted to put me through capital punishment because of some flimsy evidence that my son never even bothered to bring. And so, of course, everybody ruled it out as innocence. And then from there, that's when I started to make a plan because, well, I've now seen everything. I've seen everything that I've needed to see. These people are meant to be ruled. There needs to be order. And I want you to stand next to me and my sister and every single other person who believes the same thing as we do. And we will punish the unfair that plague our lands.
Did they ever receive punishment?
I'm gonna play Clash Royale battle.
They will.
Bro, way better when this worked. Dude, do you know if you win every claim where if half our claim was actually
These people are worse than I thought. Truly.
you know that?
I wouldn't say that every single one of them are bad, but every single one of them seems to forget what they had part to play.
Oh, that Grimes fella, he was on and on about how he's a changed man.
Changed man. One day is not a change. That man is a killer.
Kept telling him that.
He killed people for money, and that's all he'll ever be. Especially in my eyes, he looked me in the eyes. A man that I trusted, a man that I put everything into, and he used my kids against me. That bastard's lucky to even be standing. Even if he's a royal guard, I will not have a single respect for what he did to me. One day is not a big change.
Oh.
If he really, really wants to prove it to me, then he'll have to get on his knees and beg for mercy.
Did you know your sister's looking to put me in charge of them royal guards?
Honestly, you seem like you know what you're doing, and I can respect that. Not only can you be the head of a royal guard, but you can also be a kick-ass warden.
I take that as quite high praise.
People think that just because you have blue hair and your hair overlaps your eyes, that you're the most ridiculous person in the world. But I don't see ridiculousness. I see potential. I see greatness. I see someone who has more power than they could even imagine. And so I invite you to stand with us, the New World Order. You will be everything that you could have ever wanted to be. You'll be more than just a sheriff. You'll be the authority that rules over this world, that punishes the wicked.
That isn't even something I have to think about. Of course.
Good. Very, very good. Well, I'll be in contact. I'm glad you could see eye to eye with me, and I'm glad to have you on our team now.
I'm proud to be on it.
I'll let you know any updates on the prison, and as for my sister, she'll update you on the Royal Guard, which, by the way, by my decision, I humbly accept it.
Thank you. Thank you both
As
mightily.
as Vice President and Red Right Hand of the Candle Queen of the New World Order, I humbly welcome you.
I'm glad you accept it, and I can't wait to get started.
We all can't wait. Well, till next time, Sheriff Swanson.
Till next time. Lord, do y'all have to be so loud while I'm talking to someone else? You know who I'm talking about. You. You whatever the hell y'all are. Lord. Yes, you. I don't know what the hell y'all are, but yeah. Y'all think you're speaking to air or something? Yeah, I can hear you. Jeez. Talking about shit I don't even understand. Where are the carrots? You're sorry. I don't know what subscribed means. Like a subscription? Like to magazines? Oh, it's one of you fuckers. Listen, I'm not gonna be angry at whatever y'all are too much. Y'all apparently keep pestering me, so that would be unwise of me, but you're a witch. What, with like mystic powers and stuff from like folktale? Sort they burned at the stake? It's Sheriff Swanson, but yeah, I guess. Any more carrots? No, I think that's it. Alright.
Go.
That was an interesting tale. I don't have the boots on. Yep. There we go. Come here, bunnies. However many of you y'all are. It is feed-in time.
Why are you so toxic, man? We have almost.
So one of you is a witch. I suppose that's interesting.
Oh my god.
Are you the reason why I can hear you, people?
Those archers, please. They're gonna have to take a hit.
Y'all don't make sense.
Alright, ready. Whenever you want.
I'll use up so many of my carrots, but it'll be worth it, I suppose.
Isaac, do you hear me?
What am I gonna do now?
Okay.
Well, I need to get some proper weaponry. I don't know too much about that stuff. Got some armor sorted, but that Sky one's a blacksmith. Least he can do is cooperate and, well, give me what I need. Gotta pay the bloke, of course, but after hearing some of what I've heard, Neo Sky? I only know that dude is Sky. But yeah, I'm gonna take my money and head over to Orlade and hope for the best. Besides, I might do to check up on that. They're better than that Grimes folk, I guess, but they still were compliant in what happened. I may be chaotic, but that? Starving a man, using their own kids against him? That's just... You gotta be some sort of special to do that. Will do, Sky, will do. How much does this... I don't know how much this stuff costs. I'm hoping I got enough, but I suppose I might have to go mining. This is Druids Leaf. I've never seen the person that actually owns this place. I have no idea why it's even here, to be honest. It does have one of these Skyway what's-its, though. Running in flowers. Oh, there's a bird. Did I not say Skyway? I don't know who really built these things or why they're here, but they make things a mighty lot more convenient, so, oh, suppose I can see this place now. This looks like a lot of open space. Junction Industries. I won't ask how you know that. Though it does seem that some of them folks at that meeting are trying to work on some other stuff, I suppose. Some stuff that might be able to replace these here Skyways with something more convenient, I guess. Honestly, to me, I don't see why break a system if it's not broken, but them types will always work to advance, so... Orlade, this one. Don't think I've been to Orlade. Honestly, after that meeting, that was the first time I even interact. As my voice tries to go, how quaint. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, that meeting, that's the first time I've seen any of these folks from this place. I should have asked that right-hand man, Justin, who his son is. I'd like to know who all, well, is a criminal, I suppose. Need to keep an eye on these sort. Although, I do think I recall him being exiled, so I suppose there ain't really a problem about that. And so this here's Orlade. Dinny? Dinny. Danny. Alright. Was questioning y'all for a second there. Now, where to find this guy blacksmith person? A smart fella won't turn down money. Orlade florist. Damn, they should have a town map. Never been to this damn place. Inn, not what I need. Inn, tavern. What is this? What is this, a party rave thing? Do got a colorful disc? Well, you're one I haven't heard before. Hey, I suppose? This seems to be a housing area. There's gotta be a place for a blacksmith. Where the hell? I don't understand the layout of these places. There's a boat. Suppose I'll wait then. If y'all are so confident they'll be around, might as well take a look around the rest of this place. The man basically wants to build hell? You talking about, what's his face? Justin, that's the name. It's next to the flower shop? Alright. Soul, Orlade, alright. Wait, this place? Because this is the flower shop. So are we talking about this one? Or am I losing my mind? Then again, I should be... Oh, there we go. Orlade blacksmith. Oh, they got dogs. Well, I suppose the company's good. Hello. Maybe I should get myself a dog. They're always quite loyal fellas, and I do appreciate loyalty. Yeah, they also seem to have a bird. Hello. What are you doing hiding behind this here armor? I can't understand you, I know that. You're still cute. Hello there. Or a cat? I might have found a cat's. Wouldn't bring one into battle, though. Not that. Not fond of bringing dogs into battle either, but they can be mighty useful, especially when I need to track down someone. That bird is called Sagittarius. Oh, well, hello there, Sagittarius. Mighty nice to meet you. Appreciate you giving me your attention. What an intelligent bird you are. What do y'all prefer, dogs or cats? I guess I might as well ask, since y'all keep bothering me in my mind or whatever. As far as I can tell, none of the other folk seem to hear you. Or if they do hear voices, they don't speak loud about it. Huh, I guess I can climb this tree. Looks like I can give this bloke a drop. Looks like the villagers are expanding the town past the Commons Tower. The Commons Tower. I'm not quite sure what that tower is, unless you mean one of those. Suppose that looks like a half-built place. Is that if that's what you mean? Cats and neither. I get communication. I don't know what tower you're talking about. I don't know if that's the communication tower or not. You gotta remember, I've never been to this here Orlade. And I didn't start interacting with any of these people until, what's it called? That meeting where they got so upset over decent regular policies. Like, if they were a part of, you know, the world before it, the awakening, or whatever they're seemingly calling it, they paid taxes unless they were children. I really don't see the issue here. The red and white tower stuff? Okay. Suppose they did talk about setting up a communication kind of thing. See, they're already working on it. Very interesting. Wonder how that's gonna work. This place isn't bad. Said that the rain just starts, but taxes. I can understand being upset with taxes, I suppose. Feels kind of shitty to lose what you've worked for, but
Oh wait, I have.
it was.
How
Well,
do
there
you
do be a
spell?
villager.
It's H. Okay.
But that Justin fella phrased it literally as taking care of those that cannot take care of themselves. So, and that man's intelligent. He ain't just gonna give it willy-nilly to those who don't need it. So, that literally just speaks for who they are. Unwanted to take care of their own fellow man. That is a glitched out person. I'm breaking character for a second. That is a glitched out person. What the fuck? Steve, you good? Steve, you good? What the fuck?
Bro, what are these?
There's something about? You don't think you've seen what I look like? Well, just take a good look then, I guess. I mean, I don't know how y'all function. I can only hear y'all. And it's Swanson, by the way. Not Swan or whatever. I suppose Swan isn't terrible. So I suppose y'all can call me Swan if you utterly desire, but... Is that a villager just staring at me? I suppose I am on a roof. Probably be kind to them if I get down.
What?
How do I see? I don't. I just do? I feel like something's watching me. Was it that villager? Suppose I'll take a look around, just in case. I don't like the thought of someone watching me. Unless it's you animals. You say that. What the? Oh wait, fuck, I've depleted my screen. Hold on, fellas. Hold on, fellas.
When you get them off of it, you have to wait like 15 seconds and then you'll be able to get them off.
There we go. Feels like a higher being. What the?
What? Have you never seen a god before?
I most certainly have not.
The name's Hades, Greek god of the underworld, and the dead itself.
Well, I'm Sheriff Swanson, but if you're a god, you might already know that, I suppose?
Of course I do.
Or thing.
Anyways, I sensed that there was new people around, so I wanted to see what was going on.
Keeping up with the people, then, I see.
If you can't get headshots, I recommend you.
Well, of course, I mean, well, my brother's not going to do it, and nor is my other brother, so I must get out of these flowers. Anyways, I heard you're the new authoritative figure around here.
I do suppose that's the case. I do like keeping order.
That's very good, I'd say. Order must be kept to maintain balance. I'm assuming you can relate to that because of the fact that, well, being a god of the underworld, I have to keep guard of Tartarus as well.
How do you necessarily, I suppose, rule Tartarus? I know someone that's interested in it because of the prison, but...
Ha! The Tartarus Abyss prison, so I've heard. Glad to see someone's taking some inspiration from my, supposed stories.
I mean, if it works.
It does work. I mean, after all, you have to punish the wicked. You see, the way Tartarus, the real Tartarus, works is, well, you'd have to commit some of the most wicked of crimes. There's a couple of famous names. There's Sisyphus, who tried to defy every single aspect of Hades, which, well, only ended with him, well, getting a severe punishment. And then there's Tantalus, who very descriptively tried to feed me and all of my friends in Olympus his own son. Yeah, not the very sharpest tool in the shed, I say.
Yeah, I can agree with that one.
Yeah, there's quite a few other names, but for the most part, anybody who goes there, well, they don't come back. Especially those Illager fellows that, well, young Justin was talking to you about.
Well, good to see they're getting what they deserved. From what I've heard, of course I haven't seen it, they did some quite despicable things.
Oh, very, very much quite despicable. Not only is it a violation to the hospitality that us gods follow, it's also because of the fact that they use my son and also my knowledge that, well, we gifted them in order to resurrect the dead. And if you know Hades, you'll know that that is an extreme violation of how things work. Let's just say Thanatos was not very pleased. Not very pleased.
They used your son?
The knowledge that he gifted them. You see, a long time ago, those Illagers, well, they used to be much like that fellow that just walked by. They were normal. They were normal. They strived to be more. They wanted to know more. And so some of them started to explore occult-like ideas. And very soon they developed something known as the Illagers cult. And, well, they found out that we exist. And so They tried everything in their midst to get our attention. And, well, they did. And so they offered us gifts in exchange for knowledge, and of course we gods love gifts, and well, it depends on what you ask for. A little bit of knowledge wouldn't hurt anybody. After all, the world is, well, significantly different. And so they took that knowledge and they abused it. And because of the fact that they did that, monsters of all sorts of creation are now roaming this earth. And because of that, I had no choice but to curse them. Curse them with the curse of Hades. They would now be deformed into grayish, ugly beings. Because of the fact that they reanimated the dead, and they created vicious, vile monsters. So I turned them into monsters themselves, but that didn't stop them. And so when the mortals came along, and they got rid of them, you better believe they were in for a rude awakening. I was standing right there with Thanatos, and my son Zagreus. And well, they're now sitting in a boiling pool of blood, searing, cooking as if, well, it was the same pain that they inflict on those innocent lives. So, if you ask me, the mortals are heroes here. And of course the villagers, out of respect, have also, well, considered them heroes. It kind of reminds me of ancient Greek times. There was a lot of heroes back then.
That is a quite interesting story. Well, it's reality, but what are your
And
hospitality
yes.
laws, by the way?
Hospitality comes in many different ways. You see, we'll go ahead and take young Sisyphus. He's one of the most famous at violating the hospitality rule. Well, anything that involves being brutally murdered when you're with your guests. Because hospitality comes in the form of generosity. You come in, you invite someone, you give them dinner, they go on their merry way. That's hospitality. When you have someone enter your home, it's only fair to treat them with the utmost respect, just so you can have a good standing. I mean, that's how things should be. Well, let's just say young Sisyphus decided to kill almost every single guest that would come to his house. And of course, surprisingly, the first one to take action against it was the one who's doing the job right now, Zeus, my brother.
Zeus ain't
And
doing
so
his
he...
job?
That's what most mortals don't understand. They think Zeus is crying at the moment, but in reality, he's actually not. He's just doing his own thing. That's what mortals need to understand.
If it rained from a god crying, that would be odd.
That's just the belief from other ancient mythologies, which they're quite interesting to read up on, I will say that. But anyways, young Sisyphus would kill all of his guests that would come into their homes. And of course, my brother Zeus, being the king of the gods at the time, called forth a meeting about what we should do. And of course, my suggestion was to kill him. It was the easiest way out. I mean, if someone's violating a rule of the gods, then it's okay to interfere with mortal affairs. And yes, to that little sentient voice in your head, there is a rule amongst them. You cannot interfere with mortal affairs.
You know about... I shouldn't question
There's no limit to a god's power. Well, I mean... Well... Exactly. There's no limit. I could go on and on about what we carry. We don't just have certain abilities, we have other kinds of abilities as well, but of course I can't tell you that.
Suppose you can't.
You may hate it then, but it's necessary. If you interfere with mortal affairs as a primordial being, then it only creates more chaos. Things have a certain flow.
It's really weird that someone else knows about them. Sorry, that's just...
If you asked me, or if you asked any one of the other gods, they would tell you the same thing. You know, this reminds me of a certain fellow that I had to deal with recently over in that Florida region. Let's just say I had to give them a little bit of a warning because they violated the hospitality rule. Not particularly for humans, but for animals.
They did what?
You see, for animals, they carry the same weight as much as humans do. And well, as we don't mind if animals are being used for food and, well, growth, of course, there is a certain line that is crossed when you go insane and violate your guests by, well, killing them all. And let's just say that this one individual did that to their animals. Animals that had no part to play. And because of the little voice inside their head, it caused them to get the better of them. And of course, I had to go over there and warn them.
This person killed their own animals? Like,
Indeed. Very sad to see. Our new king of the gods was not very pleased, not very happy, and he wanted to do something about it, but I talked him out of it.
there's a new king? I don't really know how you gods work necessarily. I was never much into Greek mythology.
Well, amongst the pantheon, as we like to call it, there is a circle chain of gods, and I'm one of them, even though I spend most of my time in the underworld. Exactly. Pan is the new god. Honestly, those voices, they really know how to pay attention to the details, the finer details. But yes, Pan, the god of the wild himself, is our new king. And his wife Demeter, well, is also our new queen. Essentially, my brother had the brightest idea to strike down his children, and so he got the throne because of it.
He tried to strike down his own children with what? Just...
No, not necessarily his children, but the ones of the king and the queen.
Oh.
You see, my brother has gotten away with a lot of interfering rules, so it was collectively agreed that he would not be king anymore.
You know what? Good for y'all, to be honest.
If there's one thing mortals did get right, it's that Zeus, well, is a little bit of a stinker. My other brothers know better. Poseidon is a very angry one. In fact, he's already challenged a mortal to a game of pleasing the pantheon gods, because he wants a certain place in Greece.
A certain place in Greece. Are we talking about, like, that whole Athens story I heard about?
Precisely.
He hasn't gotten over that.
Of course he hasn't. It's Poseidon we're talking about.
You seem like the best out of these brothers, to be honest.
That's what most people don't tend to believe.
The evidence is right before them. I'm highly confused.
Well, nowadays most people believe that I'm not as bad as I used to be, and I'm actually grateful for that, but back when people flooded this earth, they didn't seem to think otherwise. All they know is that I kidnapped my wife, which was a normal thing back in ancient Greece, so you can't really blame me for that. But all they remember is that, and they remember my title as King of the Underworld. It's a sad reality we live in, sadly. I've been called many names. The devil, Lucifer, lots of other things. And each betrayal gets worse and worse as time goes on. It's as if they think I love doing this kind of stuff. It's just my job. I'm not necessarily... I don't believe in laughing maniacally as people get punished. No, of course not. It pains me to have to bring a soul to Tartarus every single time, but it also brings me joy when I have to bring a soul to the meadows, the Asphodel Meadows, or the Elysium. And it brings me joy that I have a wonderful wife, an amazing son. The god of death being one of my right hands, and a lot of other souls that keep me company in the underworld. The House of Hades is not as boring as people may think. In fact, you could, in theory, visit it. You just have to know where to look.
Oh?
I guess I've piqued your interest now, haven't I?
You certainly have. That isn't something you hear every day. That's an entire other realm, isn't it?
Indeed. I mean, you can go to the basis of it, where all the souls go, and you can use that soul sand to actually grow some magical essence plants to, well, dive into a little bit of alchemy. But be careful with the sand, it's very sensitive. It houses souls that need to be sent.
I see.
The way you can get there is by taking a couple pieces of obsidian and putting them into a square shape and then lighting it with a flint of steel. However, to get to my kingdom, there is a cave out there somewhere in this world. I cannot tell you where it is, but upon entering the cave, you will have to go down a few flights of stairs, and then down there you'll be transported to the river Styx, where you'll meet a boatman by the name of Charon. As long as you have the right payment with the right currency, he'll take you all the way to my kingdom.
I see. I'll have to keep a lookout for that kind of thing then.
It's out there somewhere. I'm sure you'll find it. After all, you're unique. You're not like a lot of other people.
I don't know whether...
Answers come to those who seek it, is what I'll tell you.
Then I suppose I better get seeking, because there's a lot I'd like to know.
Well, as long as you don't abuse the knowledge we give you, like those illagers did once, then you should be fine.
I despise the sort like those illagers.
At least we can agree on something. Anyways, I think I've spent too much time in the mortal plane. I'm sure if you set up a shrine or you call for a god's name, they'll appear. Because, well, it feels good to actually come back to the surface. We hadn't shown our faces in thousands upon thousands of years because population began to grow. And, well, if you were to appear as a immortal god in front of millions of people, there would be public outrage and chaos. That's why we never revealed ourselves until now. There's about approximately 70 people living on this earth now.
That is a far cry from what it once was, but...
Again, answers will come to those who seek it. And the answers, as I said with every other mortal, is that mansion, you'll find some sort of answer to what you're looking for. I know there's one big pondering question. What happened to everyone? Why is everything blink? Again, the answer you seek is actually within that mansion. I'm sure you mortals can find it. In fact, we want you to find it. But I will say this now, and I've said this to all the other mortals as well. But once you find that answer, you're not gonna like it.
all the more reason to find it. Sounds like a harsh truth.
Well, until then, might want to keep those little voices in your head at bay, but they could be of importance to you, is all I'll say. Anyways, until next time, Phoebe.
What?
Swanson, sorry. I mix up names a lot. Anyways, until next time, Swanson. Farewell.
Kara? Did I just speak to a... Nope, they exist. They exist. This is normal, they said. This is normal. You want to try eating a soul? I don't know which one of you are saying that, but I don't think anyone would be happy about you trying to eat a soul, and I don't even want to imagine what a soul would taste like. I'm alright, I guess. It's a shock. They said that there were Greek gods, that the gods exist. And considering that those people seemed fairly smart, the ones that were saying that, I didn't doubt them. It's just the actual reality, of course, it's gonna be shocking to anyone, I think. I mean, you can not disbelieve something, but when it actually happens. What did you expect? I think they called you Van. It's a god. Out of all people, I wouldn't be surprised that a god could hear y'all. Although that is somewhat validating. I'm not actually just going crazy, which is nice, I suppose. Sheriff Hades is related to the queen. You mean that Yuki fellow, the Empress? Do you mean like she's one of, like, the demigod from stories? Godborn? I haven't ever heard that term being used before. Is that just something the folk here have come up with? It's what they call children born from the gods. Interesting. I wonder if Hades can hear us or see us from anywhere. Well, consider this. Hades did tell me that if we call their name, I suppose, like I guess purposefully asking for them to appear, that they might appear, I think. And I think that's the same with the other gods, I think, from what he said. So, I don't know, it could, I suppose, be relative to location, if they're near me, based on y'all. I really don't know. Y'all aren't something I'm used to dealing with. Sky would know something about it. I suppose they can be useful for something then, other than weaponry. Although it does seem like they might not be about today. Yeah, I think I'm gonna head home for this one. That was a lot to take in, to be honest. It's not bad. That was actually quite interesting. I know a bit of Greek myths. I didn't actually study any of them. I didn't look into their whole pantheon or anything. I know some of the big names. I know like Zeus and Poseidon and Hades. Oh wait, do I need to be careful about saying their names? Will they just appear if I even utter them? That's a concern. Maybe I should not. I still want to know what it's like working with souls 24/7. Well, maybe if they ever appear again, you can ask? I doubt I'm going to remember that question. I'm probably going to have more pressing things on my mind, but I said something about shrines. I guess I can see if I can look into setting one up. Although, I need to make sure I know what I'm doing with that. Probably be disgraceful if you make something tacky. One of you just seemingly said hi in an odd way, and my brain is processing it as a hi, but it was not like an uttered hi, and I do not understand. You like Hades? I don't dislike him. I do tend to like people that think somewhat similarly to me. they seemed actually quite interesting, and the best out of the brothers from what I can tell, of the main three that I know of. Like any kid, I read Percy Jackson books. Did I go the wrong way on the Skyway? Who knows? I mean, they're a god. If anyone was gonna hear y'all, wouldn't be surprised it's them. I don't know. It's... I try not to talk to y'all when I'm around others, so it's not like I can see if that's a normal occurrence or not. I suppose I could try mentioning it to someone, or doing it in earshot of someone to see if I get questioned about it or not. Because if it happens to others, they just assume I was doing that, most likely. I suppose that can be my little test. I think we all can agree that Hades is better than Zeus. I probably shouldn't have said that out loud, but you know what? Sometimes people need to be faced with truths. Although, a little blue-haired sheriff probably... Their opinion probably isn't worth much to genuine gods, but... Talon Peaks, we're back home. I'll have to try again with getting a weapon next time. I'm special. They'd say there was something different about me, I guess. But in what way, I have no idea. Maybe it's y'all, who knows? Maybe it's not normal for people to be hearing voices. Then again, that's normally not normal. I thought I was insane, actually. Oh, that is true, I guess. They can't harm mortals. You don't think the others can hear? Well, you seem to know other stuff, which is interesting. Stuff I don't know of yet. I need to put some thought into the things I've learned today. And with that, I am breaking character, guys, because we're gonna be ending the stream today. So, fellas, it's been really fun. Thank you all. I hope y'all learned some interesting things today and had a fun time. As my voice tries to give out, what have I done to it? It just, like, perished. What the actual heck? It was really fun, guys. Thank you. Yeah, voice crack. My voice just went like, let's perish. But it wasn't like a voice crack. It was like my voice just gave out. Like, the voice box, the vocal cords just, they stopped functioning for 5 seconds. Wonderful times, truly. Yes, thank you. I'm totally not an adult. Yeah, that was great, guys. Oh, so Justin, why do you sound so cool? It's Hades.
Ah!
Why? How do you sound so cool? Yeah, y'all can unmute if y'all want. There were people. Yeah, there were
Stream
people.
bug. Yeah. Honestly, we hope you guys enjoyed the Berry World SMP. Do you mind if I advertise it?
I do not mind at all. If that's what if you're asking.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, for anybody who's watching who is new to the Berry World SMP, the Berry World SMP is hosted by me, You Can't Justice, and we are a lore-based and Earth-style SMP. We have an official Twitter. It is at Berry World SMP, and very soon we're gonna have a fan Discord.
Post it.
Post it. Hold on a second. Let me get the link.
I'm streaming Berry World right now, so I don't see why it's like bad to like advertise.
My mom yelling in background.
Dude, my family is in my background 24/7.
My mom's yelling in background.
Yo, can I just say that I was that Steve that was glitchy because I forgot that you had that issue.
Why were you here?
Yeah, I was just like, who
I was
the
wearing.
hell?
I was just wearing a nitwit. I was just wearing a nitwit.
Yeah, that happens. That happens. Those are like out of character moments. Like when you saw me flying above you, you just saw
Yeah.
me.
I was just like, oh no.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, that's just that's out of canon.
Yeah, the
I had to
justice
just, like,
floating
yo,
above me,
justice.
that was just Hades that whole time. Don't mind that.
I like
Yeah.
started like contacting him through Minecraft messengers. Like, hey, yo,
I
Justice,
know.
you
I know.
gotta
I
come
saw what was going on. I have the stream up, so I
I
switched
had-
immediately.
I had no idea, like, that that was gonna happen today.
Well, it wasn't. That was unplanned. Fun
Yeah.
fact.
I figured.
We had to do some rescuing.
Yeah.
Some improvisation.
Oh yeah. Do y'all still
Indeed.
have the stream up because
Yes. Yes.
I'm looking.
Ben's asking a question.
But yeah,
Just
guys,
just.
by the way, guys, this is arc 2. This is
I love how
arc
I love
2.
how I love
I
how
hope you know
Ven
this.
I love how Ven just asked Justice, does Hades know where Bot Gamer came from, or is he the only person who would know? No, sadly, that is a Mythos thing. Anything that's related to Mythos is obviously not canon here. Obviously, the Berry World SMP is very much a very different thing. So
Yeah,
no,
a
sadly,
very different
so sadly, no, he doesn't know where Bot Gamer came from. For context, the other day, two of the Mythos streamers, Rex and Meadow, got both 60 tier 1 subs from a person named Bot Gamer, which, by the way, is like a lot of money. Just saying.
God damn.
Fucking
And what's intriguing is that they said that that they'll be back. Smiley face. So, but anyways.
Yeah, but anyways, guys, yeah, this is Arc 2, by the way. I hope people know this. So there's a lot of things that was covered up in Arc 1 that's not here, so you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go watch the other
Indeed.
fellows if you want to get caught up in Arc 1. I was not here in Arc 1. The
Yeah.
fellas have welcomed me as Sheriff Swanson. I am very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Sheriff Swanson came in Arc 2. Like, this is actually Arc 2. Yeah. There's a lot of shit that happened during Arc 1, actually. Like, it was a small arc, but it was a good arc.
Mhm.
Indeed.
Alrighty, I think that's where I'm gonna end it off, fellas. I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. This was really fun. Can I tab out of my Minecraft? Here we go. Bye, y'all.
Bye!
I actually